Hi, this is Tony Javier, founder of Real Estate Prodigy and owner of a company that was named on the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. And in this video, I want to show you my 5 keys to a great funding system and how you can get my ultimate funding system for free. This is the same funding system I've used to fund close to 400 houses without using any of my own money, and at many times getting cash back at closing. So have you ever asked yourself, how do people buy real estate? How do they buy it with no money down? You know, you've probably heard the term other people's money, but what does that really mean and how does it work? You know, the funding system that I've created has again helped us to buy many properties and has really fueled my business. So for those of you who know my story, I started back in 2001 and I bought a course for $200. No money, I had no money in my pocket, I had barely any money in my bank, and I just whipped out my credit card and said, you know what, I see what this course is going to help me to do and I want to learn it. It was an infomercial on TV, late night, no money down, you know, those things you see on TV where you just pull out your credit card and you're not sure why. But that's one of the things that's really allowed me to have success, is to take action. And I just knew that this course had something. I knew that I kind of wanted to get in real estate. I knew that what they were talking about was real because they had real people on there that were talking about their successes. And I said, you know what, I can do that. And so I got the course. It taught me to buy properties with no money down. And I was able to buy a lot of properties very quickly with no money out of my pocket. And I continued to grow the business, and it was about 7-8 years later where I really started to have success. And then things happened. And what happened was I had 4 employees, and I had 3 employees that were stealing from me. And again, the business was doing well. It was really growing. And I realized something. I had the wrong people in place. And I had to fire 3 out of my 4 key employees: property manager, project manager, office manager, people that were running the business for me on a day-to-day basis. And that really took a toll on me. I went into a depression. I felt like I was losing my business. I felt like things were crashing down. And what I realized from that is that I didn't have the right people in place, and I didn't have the right processes in place. And fast forward to today, and now I'm hundreds of miles away from my main office, and it runs without me. It runs on autopilot. I have to approve contracts, I have to approve budgets and things like that, but really I just make course corrections to the business, and my unbelievable team with the systems that I've created and they've helped create really fuel the business. And the reason I tell you this story is there's one thing that really kept me going, and that was my funding system. It wasn't nearly as refined as it is today, but I had at least part of the systems in place to really keep the business going, even when I thought everything was hitting the fan. I was still able to buy properties, I was still able to act quickly on them, and I was able to buy properties even though my staff went away, basically, and I had to recover from that. So what I want to do now is share with you my 5 keys to a great funding system so you can create that for yourself, whether you want to do 1 deal a year or whether you want to do 100 deals a year. My team does between 5 and 10 properties a month, and continuously growing. And the big part of it is the funding system we put in place. We've got different systems for project management and rehabbing and things of that nature, but we can't do it if we don't have funding. So I'm going to show you how I set up the funding system that basically runs without me now, and how you can implement it, again, even if you're just wanting to start with 1 property or whether you're wanting to create a big business for yourself. Okay? So key number 1 to a great funding system is you have to have no money down approaches. So in my funding system, I'm going to teach you the main strategies I've used in the past to buy properties with no money down. And in many cases, I'd say more than 90% of the time, we actually get cash back at closing. And that has allowed us to really buy a lot of properties. Let's say you have $50,000 to start with. If you were to take that $50,000 and invest it and just use that money, you might be able to buy 1 property. Depending on what market you're in, you may be able to buy 2 properties at a time, and that's it. But if you've got no money down approaches where you can buy properties with no money out of your pocket and you've got other people funding those deals for you, you could have multiple projects going at one time if you get to that point. You know, right now we've got, I think, between 15 and 20 projects going, and it's because we're able to buy a lot of these properties with no money down. Now, do I use my own money for some projects? Absolutely. In fact, the other day we had to use our own money because we had to close quickly. But for the most part, we don't use our own money. We're able to scale our business because we're able to use other people's money to buy properties, which if you look at the return on investment makes it almost infinite. If you're not putting any money out of your own pocket in these, into these properties, you don't even have a return on investment because it's so high you can't even calculate it because you're not using your own money. But even if you did use a few $1,000s, imagine the return on investment on a few $1,000s for a project compared to using all of your money for that project. So it really increases your returns and allows you to do more volume, all right? So number 2 is you got to be able to close quickly. You know, the other day we were brought a property to us, and it was a Monday, and they said we got to close by Wednesday. They're like, we have title work ready, we've got this and that ready, but we're not able to close on it. Can you step in and take our position? And because of the funding system I have in place, I was able to act quickly on it. I was able to look at the numbers, and it's one of the best deals we've come across in quite a while, and we're able to act quickly and close on it. If you don't have your funding system in place and you come across a deal and someone says we need to close in 2 days, we need to close in a week, we need to close in 2 weeks, or even if they're willing to wait 30 days and you're not confident in buying that property because you don't have your funding in place, you could lose out on a lot of deals. I can't even count the amount of deals that I have been able to get because other people didn't have their funding in place. And they either came to me and said, hey Tony, I need to take my position and close on this, I need to close quickly, or because I was competing against someone else and I was willing to say, you know what, if you want to close in a week, we can. Whereas the other person had to wait 30 days or maybe had to get their ducks in a row and, you know, whatever. But we were able to act on it because we were able to close quickly, and time is money with people. When they want an offer, when they want to be able to close quickly, you got to be able to offer that to them, or else you're going to lose the deal. Okay? So on to number 3, you have to build strong relationships. With the lenders we have right now, most of them were from referrals. So what happened was we would meet someone that wanted to invest in real estate. We would get them into our funding system. We would nurture them. We would take care of them. We would educate them. We would do what we say we're going to do, which is the number one key, I believe, in a funding system. If you do what you say you're going to do, everything else starts falling into place. So we have built strong relationships with our lenders because we take care of them. We have returned 100% of our lenders' money to them on all of our deals. We've never had to ask them to take a cut because we maybe lost money. We've only lost money on 3 properties out of almost 400 deals, which is, I feel like is a strong track record. And even on those 3 deals, we said, you know what, we're not going to ask you to take the hit. That's our responsibility. We want you to get your money first and be safe in this investment. And we're going to take the profits from the property, and we're also going to take any losses that we have on the property. And that to them is gold because they know their investment is safe. So other things with building strong relationships are just, communicating with them, taking care of them, but mainly doing what you say you're going to do. If you're going to build a relationship with someone, it doesn't matter if it's lending or not. I build mine on integrity, on doing the right thing and doing what I say I'm going to do. So once you start getting investors into your program and you start doing what you say you're going to do, they start referring people to you. I think we have close to 10 lenders right now, and I would say 7 or 8 of those were referral based. We took care of our investors, and they know people with money. If they've got money, they probably know people with money. And so they started saying, hey, I've got this friend that wants to invest with you as well. The other day, someone said, hey, I've got a neighbor I've been talking to you about your great returns and your, the way you do business. And, he's got several $100,000 and he wants to invest it with you. So take care of your people and a $100,000 investment can turn into $1 million investment. We've had that happen many times where someone said, you know what, I'm going to start with you, I'm going to give you $100,000 or give you $200,000, and we did exactly what we said we were going to do, and now they're up to $1 million with us in a very short period of time. So build those strong relationships, really nurture them, and take care of the people that are taking care of you. All right? Communication is a big thing. I talked about taking care of your lenders, and I mentioned communication in there. You have to be able to communicate with people you're doing business with. And again, these lessons really don't have to do just with private lenders or lenders in general, but they have to do with anything you do in your business. So with lenders, we really like to communicate with them. We communicate with them up front with a system that we have, what the deal looks like. We've got a formatted email that we send to them that shares everything about the property. And so that's the first line of communication in a deal is, here's the deal we're doing, and we just have open communication on everything we're doing with that property. What do the numbers look like? Here are the pictures for the property. They have to be able to trust you. And if you can't communicate with them well, they're not going to trust you, and you're not going to be able to do as many deals with them. So the communication continues. When the project's going, some lenders say, don't even talk to me until the deal's done and I get my money back. But some lenders, they need a little more reassurance. They need you to send, maybe some pictures after you're done, or maybe some pictures in between, or just a quick update that says, hey, we're 30 days into this project. Hope you got your first check if you're paying them monthly. And here's where we are with the project. We're about 2 weeks out, and we still feel like we're going to list it for this price, but just wanted to give you the heads up. And that communication goes a long way, because when you they say out of sight, out of mind, but really for investors, out of sight usually means they are thinking about something. They're thinking about what could potentially be going wrong. They're thinking about what you could be doing with their investment. And they're not all that way. Most of the investors we have are very hands-off, and they just say, just send us a check and give us our money. That's all we care about. We don't care about the project. We don't care to see after pictures. But you'll be able to gauge that in the beginning on how much communication you need to have. But any which way, communicate with them openly, communicate with them honestly, and keep them comfortable with the deals that they're doing. All right? Systems. I think I mentioned systems a couple times already, but we have a system for everything that we do. So one of the first systems that we create is our deal analyzer, which analyzes the deal that we're doing. We punch in the repairs we need to do to the property. We punch in what we think we're going to be able to sell it for after we're done with the property. We punch in the asking price, and it's going to shoot out a profit, and what we do is we adjust our numbers until we get to the profit point that we're comfortable with in that deal. So that's the first system that allowed me to step out of my business. I can't remember if I shared that with you, but back when I went through that whole ordeal with having to let go of a lot of employees, I didn't have the right people in place. I didn't have the right systems in place. And now, today, I'm almost completely removed from my business. Honestly, I could probably check on my business once a week, and it would run almost as efficiently as if I was checking on it more consistently like I like to do. But honestly, I don't have to. I don't have to spend as much time into that business, and that deal analyzer was one system that allowed me to step out of it. One of the systems that really allowed me to step out of the funding part of the business, I deal with an investor here and there when I have to talk to them directly, but I have the president of my company that talks to most of our investors. In fact, I don't know half of our investors. I've never met half of the investors that invest hundreds of thousands of dollars and even some up to $1 million in my business because of the systems that I have in place. So you heard me mention the email that we send to our lenders. That's a system. We have a formatted email that we plug in the numbers to each property. We give them the address. We send pictures if they want it. And that's the first part of our system. If we had to call a lender every time and we had to, answer questions here and there about the property, it'd take a lot more time. But we just take it and we just give them everything up front. It doesn't take us more than 5 to 10 minutes to put an email together and send it out to them and say, here's the deal. And they know almost every single thing about that property. That's the system number one. Another system we put in place is having a spreadsheet that we're able to track our lenders. So you get the point. I could go into many different systems that we have in our business, but you have to create systems for your lending process, which we'll share with you in the Ultimate Funding System. And you have to create systems for everything you do. If you do it more than once, my rule is you do it more than once and you feel like you're going to keep doing it again and again, create a system for it. So we've got a system we use for our funding system that allows us to do, between 5 and 10 deals a month and have hundreds of thousands of dollars, actually millions of dollars in play at any given time. Right now we've got, I believe, right around or over $3 million in other people's money working for us right now. And that number continues to grow. And without a system in place to be able to track that, without a system in place to be able to communicate with their lenders, without a system in place to be able to pay them, without a system in place to record those transactions, we couldn't do it. We could not do it without systems. So I can't stress enough that when you get into this business and you create this funding program, you've got to have a really good system in place. So I told you that I would share with you how to get our ultimate funding system for free. So what I want to do is I want to give you the system that we use to fund all of our deals and prove to you that we are the go-to when it comes to investing in real estate. People say, Tony, why do you give away some things here and there? And it's because we want to build credibility. We want to build your trust. If you go and you buy a car, you want to test drive the car. You want to be able to go take it out, step on the gas pedal a little bit, and make sure that the car is what you want. And it's the same thing with us. We want you to be able to, and I hope I prove with you in a short amount of time that we kind of know what we're talking about, but we want you to go even further and to be able to dive into one of our systems and come back to us time and time again, and maybe even partner with us. We have students that have brought deals to us that we have partnered with. They bought into our system, bought into our program, and they brought us a deal and they said, Tony, we've got a deal, but we can't fund it. So we've joint ventured with them and we've brought the money and we've brought even some contractors and we brought some different things to the table to help them do those deals. So not only do we want to share our systems with you, not only do we want to prove ourselves, but we want to continue to do business with you many years into the future. We're not into this to just collect a little bit of money and then walk away and not be with you. We want to support you. We want to be with you. We want to continue to grow with you. This ultimate funding system I could probably sell for hundreds of dollars. It is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, maybe even $1,000 or more. And to us, it's worth millions because that's what it's created for my business. But we want to get it to you for free. All I'm asking is you just give us a little setup fee to help us with the cost of getting it to you. We have technology to pay for. We've got support to pay for. So we just ask for a small setup fee to help cover our costs in getting the information to you. So I hope this was really valuable to you. I hope you take advantage of the ultimate funding system that I've set up for you for free and you really start building a business on your own. Because I tell you what, that moment in 2001 where I said, enough is enough, I need to get ahead, I don't have any money, here's my credit card, I'm going to dive into this. That moment right there changed my life. I would probably be working a 9-to-5 job. I'd probably be doing something I don't love had I not taken advantage of that. And that's the other reason I want to give back. I want to give other people the opportunity to create a business that gives them what they need, whether that's financial freedom, whether that's whatever it is that you're looking for this business, because there's a reason behind it. You're getting into this business either because you want more money to be able to live more free life, you want to be able to provide more for your kids, you want to send them to college, whatever it is, you have a reason behind that. And if you don't take action right now, especially for a free funding system, you're probably never going to. I mean, let's be real here. This is a free system, small setup fee, whatever. I'll give you your money back if you don't like the program. I mean, that's how committed I am to this program. That's how committed I am to all the programs that I sell. Is that if you don't like it, just send us an email and say, you know what, I want my money back. Just do it within 30 days and you get your money back for free. So if you're not already committed right now, you're probably not committed ever. But if you are and you see the value in this, which I know you will, go down and click the button below. There's a button that will appear once you've watched most of this video, and go take action now. And we hope that we can continue to mentor you, to coach you, to partner with you, and to help you in your real estate business. So thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll talk to you really soon, and I look forward to supporting you.